Perfect. Hi, I'm Kaitlin. Thanks for the introduction. I'm with OpenLearning. We are a social constructivist platform for learners. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you can build courses in OpenLearning's platform and a scalable and social approach. So I have a few different learning outcomes that I hope that you'll take away from the session today. Firstly, really assessing the value and impact of a social constructivist approach to learning. So how you can use some of those tools in your toolkit, and recognizing why OpenLearning might be the platform to do that in. We work with over 250 different educational institutions and are delivering market-leading courses through our platform. And then lastly, just to conclude, if OpenLearning is something you'd like to explore. So at the end, I'll share my contact details. I'd love to have a conversation with you one-on-one to understand the courses that you're building for your students and if OpenLearning could be a tool that you're interested in exploring. So just firstly, to kind of paint the picture of what OpenLearning is, we are a cloud-hosted platform that provides an end-to-end experience for building and facilitating and even marketing courses for learners around the globe. So we do this in what we call a social constructivist approach to learning. So a little bit different from the typical learning management system. We do this through fostering a community of practice, and I'll go into a little bit more about how we do that. But we also allow you to market your courses in our global marketplace. So if you visit openlearning.com, you'll see a number of our clients who are selling courses in our marketplace. And this is visited by more than 3 million learners, getting lots of visits and enrollments every day. And so this could be an opportunity to scale your business and your courses and to also diversify the market that you're reaching. So what do I mean by we're more than just a typical learning management system? When you think about OpenLearning, it really is a one-stop shop to launch and to host an educational business. So you talk about the platform kind of at the center. We have that technology to employ and deliver the course content, but we also have the pedagogical approach in which we're facilitating that learning. And our tools in the platform are built with that outcome-based learning and teaching in mind. And then lastly is that channel. So again, that marketplace, there's over 3 million learners in the marketplace for you to be able to reach and market to. So it can really make that business that you already have very scalable. I'm based in our Australia office, but we have also a Malaysian office. So growing interest in Southeast Asia, as well as in the United States and even in Europe. So definitely a global marketplace at your fingertips. When we talk about social constructivism, it's really about creating an online learning experience that isn't just a lecture-based approach, but creating that community of practice for learners to learn from one another and have that collaboration, which can be phenomenal for English language learning, to be able to communicate with peers, learn from one another's mistakes, and like and comment and have that social approach to the coursework. So we do this through a few different ways: collaborative, team-based learning, personalized, case-based, scenario-based. All these different approaches can take place in what we call learner-centered learning, synonymous with social constructivism. So we really want that learning online to be very rich and not for any technology to take away from the experience of an in-class or face-to-face classroom, but to really facilitate different methodologies and approaches in a complex and social way. So typical learning management systems or platforms might really stay at the bottom of this infographic in the passive or corrective, doing typical quizzes and so forth. But in OpenLearning, we kind of take it a step further, where you're able to create tasks where students are reflecting upon their learning and then learning from one another's responses, commenting and replying, being collaborative, crowdsourcing information, giving and receiving peer feedback, and really creating a community together through group work. So I'm going to go through some different examples of how we do this and case studies as well. On the left-hand side, you'll see here a few of the widgets that OpenLearning employs to support that social learning design. So our platform is completely widget-based, quite user-friendly. You're able to drag and drop these onto a page to create your content. So some things like a share anything widget allows someone who might be really charismatic and want to share a video to do so, but someone else who might want to just write to do so, or an audio, they can share anything in response to an activity. So here are some of those examples in action through different client case studies. In this first scenario for kind of crowdsourcing and getting that feedback among the group is a random selector tool. So you might present a few different tasks, have the random selector choose one for the learner specifically, and then they would respond to that task. So then the students are learning about both of the different scenarios or tasks from one another. In the second example, it's again that share anything where it's multimodal. There's flexibility so that if someone wants to self-express in a certain way, they can draw and upload a photo. They can have choice rather than a designated format. So some people may feel more comfortable in different ways. The last one is co-create or collaborate. These types of activities are really important to assist learners in developing skills such as analysis and providing constructive feedback to one another and reflection. So it's requiring them to work on their written language capability and communication skills to give that peer feedback in a constructive way. So that's kind of in that gallery function where it would collate all the responses here. You'll also notice some like and comment buttons within the platform as well, where the learners would get notified when someone is responding to their post within the platform to create that continual loop of feedback. This next bit is in terms of indicators of success. So when do you know that what you've created in the platform is really working well in the social constructivist way? It's when you're having learner-driven interactions. They're commenting and responding and having a discussion right there within the course. In addition, those replies and the activity that the students are producing in the course will generate kudos. So anytime someone's very active or liking and commenting, it gives them that positive reinforcement through kudos to give them awards and badges as they're active. So it really creates that community of practice. And students get notified, like I mentioned, so it really gives that ongoing discussion to the learner, similar to any social media that they're using. The second piece is our assessment tool. So within an assessment feature, you're creating a course with learning outcomes at the heart of the course. And the assessment tool allows you to build a criteria in which you're evaluating a student's work and supplying feedback to them. Our tagging system, which you can see on the screen, that says evidence, activities posed tagged with aircraft flow regimes, that is a learning outcome, and it's tagged to that specific assessment piece to make them visible and apparent to learners so that they know exactly what they're being assessed on and can then be evaluated upon that. A few case studies of actual clients utilizing our platforms. The first is through a project with the UNSW Global. This is a transition program, pathway program, where they're offering courses to overseas students. And this pathway program, 6 other universities are recognizing the completion of this program for uni entrance. But they've seen great success in that social practice. Offering students more feedback and support is certainly seeing a higher level of peer interaction. And they've had very high and strong satisfaction rates with even a 20-point increase in their satisfaction overall. So they're really seeing that students are able to articulate that peer interaction is helpful to them, and it's offering them a bit more than typical online programs. So generating lots of comments, averaging large numbers in each course. One of them is actually an academic English course that they're offering. The second is with iCollege. So iCollege has a number of different colleges within it, but they are really utilizing this in the scalable approach. So when we talked about social constructivists, but also a scalable approach, they're really seeing the extend of their IP through this global marketplace that I mentioned. They're utilizing Google Analytics to really optimize the marketing of their courses in our platform, and saw over a 350% return on investment in their first year alone. So seeing lots of sales through our marketplace, and they're seeing a really diverse group of learners come through the courses as well. The last case study I'd like to mention is University of New England. They're using our platform in a very unique way. They're using it to engage with early offer recipients of their undergraduate programs. So it's an approach to keep that relationship quite fresh for the student to then enroll directly, and also support them in that transition. So they're really offering a high level of interaction and support before they commit to UNE, and they've more than doubled their conversion rate from offer to commencement. And it's also serving as a way to prepare the students. So it's actual content that the students might be able to get a leg up on prior to them starting in their first year at uni. So they're really relying on that social component as well for students to make and form those relationships. I only have a few minutes left. I'm going to check the chat to see if I have had any questions come through. But while this slide is up, I'd also like to point out that you can scan that QR code, and that will take you to a meeting link to book a meeting with me directly. I'm happy to have a one-on-one chat with anyone who's interested. I know we might even have a few attendees on the call already using OpenLearning, which is very exciting. And as Sophie mentioned, they're going to be launching some of their courses in OpenLearning very soon. But feel free to visit our website and send through some questions to me or book a meeting directly. And a few comments coming in, but did I miss any questions?
No, I don't think there've been any questions yet, Kaitlin.
Yeah, oh good. Yeah, I think that's it for me then.